All right, welcome everybody. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. We sure did. And I hope everybody is rested and ready for the new mini catalog. Yay! I'm so excited. I have been working on some cards with some new stamp sets. So you guys will be seeing those, and you've probably already seen 3 of them that I posted on my site. So if you are new, my name is Julie Brown. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I love Stampin' Up! I love their products. I love what I do. It's the best job ever. So anyway, tonight we're going to be looking at the mini catalog. And what that is, if you are new to Stampin' Up! Or you're new to watching me, Stampin' Up! Is coming up with a new, it's called a mini catalog. It's good from January until June. And it will be available January, I believe 4th is the day you can start ordering it from it. But this week, I'm going to be posting both on my site and obviously doing a live tonight where I am going to show you some of the new stuff coming up and what you can make out of it. Hey Mel, so glad you're here. So again, if you're new, you can write in the comments and let me know you're here. Also, if you have any questions regarding anything that I'm showing you tonight, you can also ask those questions. If you are new to card making, welcome. Hopefully this will get you wanting to start making cards. It's just something that I really love to do. I just think it's special when you hand make cards for people. And because everyone who knows me knows I love easy buttons, and that's where Stampin' Up! Has come in for me because of the easy buttons that they have. So let me just take care of a few things. Hopefully everybody already has their orders in this month, but just in case you don't, there's the hostess code, and we have like 2 more days before we get orders in for December. So, and you'll just go to juliebrown.stampinup.net for that. Okay, but the exciting news, dun da da, is I am going to be having a mini catalog open house at my house on January 9th. Now, because of COVID, you do need to make an appointment. Hey, Shanine. And so I'm starting at 10 in the morning and it'll go until 3. And the way it works is that you just drop by. I will have samples of different cards, and I will have a lot of the paper and stuff that's coming out in the mini catalog. Again, this is free, but I do need you to make an appointment because I'm trying to only have between 4 to 5 people in my house at the same time so that I can keep everybody 6 feet apart, and you will have to wear a mask if you're coming. But you will do make and takes. There's going to be drawings for prizes. If you bring a friend or place an order that day, you get more chances to win. So yay. So it's a pretty exciting and fun thing that I do. This will be in lieu of the card making class for January. So for those of you that usually come to the card making class, instead we're going to do the make and takes. And again, this is totally free to you guys to come. But it's also a fun thing to bring friends to. So consider bringing a friend because you'll get your name put in for a drawing. So that'll be exciting. All right. So let's get started. So we are going to be working with the Well Suited Suite tonight. Again, I've kind of been focused on masculine cards, and this suite is just perfect for the masculine cards. So let's look at what's in the suite. So it comes with this stamp set, and then it comes with coordinating dies, and we're going to actually be working with these dies here tonight. And then it comes with this twine, which is in basic gray and Night of Navy. And then it comes with 2 of each of these papers, and they are double-sided. So you can see there's this side and that side, and then this side and that side. I know this camera gets kind of weird when I show paper. There's one side. This almost looks like a tweed, like a tweed jacket. And then there's that side. And then we have this one that's kind of like graph paper. And then this side. And if you can't tell this color, it's Cajun Craze. And then this is like a pinstripe. And then this side. and then this one here, and this one here. All right, so that's all of the paper. That's all there is to this suite. This is not a huge suite. It's one of the smaller suites, which makes it a little bit more affordable. But we are going to be doing a really, really fun card tonight. Let me bring in my scrap paper. So let's talk about what you're going to need to make this card. Obviously that stamp set, but you can't get that till January. So yeah, teaser. Okay, so I'm using a piece of thick Whisper White. And just so you guys know, Stampin' Up! Had to change their Whisper White. They were told actually they were giving absolutely no notice. From the company that used to make their Whisper White, the company closed down. And so what Stampin' Up! Had on hand, they had on hand. I believe they've sold out of most of their Whisper White, but they are working with another company to come up with what they call a basic white. It is not available yet. And again, Stampin' Up! Was not given any notice. And so they are trying to do the best they can. So a lot of us are trying to design without Whisper White right now, but I have some in stock, so I am using Whisper White. But when the new basic white comes out, it would be the same thing. You just use the thick one. And this is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then you're going to need 2 of the well-sweeted, and we're going to use this pinstripe pattern. And these are 4 1/4 by 5.5. And then you're going to need a piece of Whisper White that is 1.5 by 2.5. And a piece of mint macaron that is 2.5 by 5.5. And a piece of basic gray that is 1 by 1.5. And I already cut something out of that one. And then I think you need another piece of Whisper White, and I think it's just maybe not, maybe I just stuck this in here, but oh yes. And I forget what size this one is, and I've got this on the, let's see, this is 1.5 by 2.5 Whisper White. All right, let's get started. So this one is, we're going to be doing a lot of cutting with the die cut machine. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut on this piece right here. And where did I just do with the dies? And we're actually going to be forming a shirt on the front of the card. So let me get my die cut machine in. Oh, I'm going to try to do all the die cutting machine while I've got it over here. So what we're going to do, and you want to get this centered. So I'm going to put this piece down. And I'm going to use this little fin in the die set. There's this piece, and then there's this piece. And we're going to be using both of these. But this one, I want to try to get this centered the best that I can. And I don't really want like the whole, I don't want it down as low as it can go. I'm going to kind of go up off the top of this a little bit. But let me try to get this centered the best that I can. That's probably the hardest part of this. All right, and we're going to run this through. All right, so then when that's done, this piece comes out of the center. And you have a piece that looks like this. All right. Now we're going to come in with this other piece and our other piece of the designer series paper, which again looks like a pinstripe. And I'm just going to bring this down as far as I can to the bottom. And again, I'm still trying to center it. Just so that it matches up to what I did with the other piece. And we're going to cut that out. Sorry, I don't have my paper underneath this tape down, so it's trying to move when I run this through. Okay, and then this gives us this piece right here. And then next, I am going to need, what do I need? Oh, that little white piece that I forgot that I needed. I'm going to need to do this piece from that. And then, I don't know if you guys can see this, but these are actually little buttons. It's going to cut out a bunch of little buttons. And so that's what I'm going to use this for. So we're going to run that through. And it cuts out 6 buttons, and I actually only need 2. So, fun! I will have extra buttons for later. Okay, so now we've got this little piece cut out. And we've got buttons. All right, where did I just lose a button? There it is. These things are really staticky. It's probably my holder here. So let me pull all of these out. All right, so there's my little buttons. And then I think the rest of it is, I have to stamp first before I cut out. So I'll have to move this, and then we're going to do some stamping. So let me move this. So I'm going to bring in this mint macaron piece, and I'm going to use this tie right here. And we're going to ink this up with Smoky Slate. So I'm just inking that up really good. And then I'm going to just stamp that there. And then let me get a stamp cleaner so I can clean this. Whoop. That one's not going to work. It's completely dry. Let's try this one. Yep, here we go. Sometimes I don't get my little cases shut all the way, and then that dries them out. Then I'm going to take the other tie, and I'm not actually going to be using this as a tie. I'm just kind of using this bottom half of this. So I basically just need to ink that up, stamp it right there, ink it up again, and stamp it right there. All right. So I think that's all I need on that. Okay. And then on this larger, I'm gonna do some stamping so that I can then bring my cutter back in and cut everything out that I need to cut out. Okay, so then we are going to bring in our little Whisper White piece, and we are going to use where it says "Have a Happy Father's Day, Handsome," and we're gonna pull this one out. And I'm going to do this in mint macaron ink. And I'm just going to try to center this because I am going to be cutting this out with the die cut. I'm using the rectangle stitch dies. You guys all know I love the stitch dies, so I hope you don't ever get tired of seeing them because they're my favorite. Like mega favorites of all of the dies. I love the stitch dies. Okay, so now we're ready to, let me just move this paper. Bring in my die cutting machine once more. I'm telling you guys, I didn't quite know what to start with, what to show you guys first, but I just thought this was so cute that this would be a good one to show you. You know what? Let me see if I can get kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to bring in, nope, not that one. My rectangle dies. And let's see if I can get that to cut at the same time. That way I can get both done at the same time. All right, so let me stick that down. Make sure it didn't move. Yeah, with so many fun things coming out, I just didn't know where to start. I was just like, do this one. Oh, no, do that one. Oh, maybe do this one. So, anyway, you got this one tonight. Okay. So then, of course, we have the die to cut out, the big die. And, oh, I didn't show you guys that. I'm sorry. I always try to show. These I'm going to fussy cut out because I'm just using the tips. I could use the die to cut that out. It would cut out the tips, but no sense in doing that when it's just as quick. And I'm actually going to follow it pretty close to the edge here on this one. So I'm just going to cut that out. And then I just kind of need this tip. So I need two of these tips. So I've got that there. Don't know where that came from. And then let me cut this other one out. Again, I'm just cutting pretty close to, and this was just the tip of the second tie. So if you guys are just joining me and you didn't see what I did, that's what I did. All right. There's that. Okay, so I think we have all of our pieces. Am I missing anything? Oh, yes, I am. I need from this, actually it's not this piece, it's this piece. There's this one little piece right here that I didn't do. So I'm just gonna do this off camera. I'm just gonna cut it really quick. I apologize for not getting this, cutting that when I first said. So, all right. Sorry about that. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay. So basically, I just use that die and I cut out this little piece right there. All right, which does have stitching on it, which is exciting. Okay, but I wanted to show you. So, obviously it cuts out these. It also has the dies that cut this out and this out. It also will cut out pockets, which you could make banners out of. It also cuts out suspenders. And these would be the little clasp for the suspenders. And this would be like a name tag if you wanted to act like you have a name tag on somebody. So yeah, and the buttons. And so it's just a really fun set with some fun dies. Okay, so now let's make the magic happen. So we're going to take the front of our card. All right, and then we are going to take this piece here, this first piece that we cut, and we're just going to put that on the front of the card. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal for that. Sorry, brand new Stampin' Seal. I just put this in there. And I am going to put a little bit more than I normally do because I want all of these edges to stay down. Normally I just kind of hit the edges and we're good. Or hit the corners and we're good. But tonight I want to make sure we want that lined up perfectly here. Okay. Now it may hang over. See how it hung over just a bit? which is fine. I would rather it hang over than be too short, because then you can come in and you can trim all of these pieces that are sticking out. So Wes and I were kind of bored last night. We were trying to find a movie to watch, and we came across a movie that we hadn't seen in a long time. It's called Secondhand Lions, one of my favorite all-time movies. I had just forgotten how funny and how great that movie is. But it just really it's just such a good movie. I'm just in love with it. Okay, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the tie, and the tie is actually gonna slide down, and you have to kind of work this together with another piece. So the tie kind of fits like that, but then this is the collar. Oh gosh. This is the collar right here. So I don't know if you guys, let me get this in a little closer while I'm putting this together. Okay, and I'll move it up. So you'll notice that there's a little piece sticking up. So what we want to do is we want to kind of keep moving this tie down until we get it to where it is just below that little piece here that goes down. So I'm going to scoot it down a little bit more. And I think that should be good. Okay, so then the nice thing about this is because it's underneath here, it doesn't take a lot of glue. I can just like basically put a little bit of glue right there. Get my tie back straight. Hopefully I didn't push it up, but because I'm using the liquid glue, I do have a little wiggle room here. Nope, that's still perfect. Okay, so then we're gonna put that tie there. And then we're gonna come in with this collar piece. And again, I'm using the liquid glue. Putting the glue on. And you just wanna make sure that that collar is flush to the top of the edge up here. And I try to scoot it left and, do the same thing left and right. Make sure it's got the same amount of space. Whoops. Left and right. And again, this is where that liquid glue is really handy because it really gives you some wiggle room. All right. Then we're going to come in with this piece here. And this is going to cover this edge here, which makes it look like a suit. Let me go out a little bit now. Hey, Brenda. Brenda and I have been talking. I had her busy because we were talking about the open house. She's actually going to be, she's part of my Stampin' Up team, and she's going to actually be helping and making some of the cards for it. So you guys won't have to just see my stuff. You can see somebody else's point of view, which is always nice. If you come to the open house. Okay, so then that's going to lay down like that. Excuse me, I need some water. So I live next to Kirby Orchard, and they were burning today. And that's always so good for my allergies. Not. So yeah, so I'm a little, my sinuses are a little unhappy today. So then I'm going to take these little pieces that I cut out, and I'm just going to put them on the back here. And I'm going to do this one first. And then I'm going to put a little bit more glue down. And again, it doesn't take a lot. You guys know I don't use a lot. But this one I'm going to turn this way because I kind of want to see if I can get this in kind of at an more of an angle. Because I kind of wanted this to look like two handkerchiefs in a pocket. Then I'm going to come in and put a little bit of glue on all of it. Oops. And then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to bring it, and I'm going to try to line it up with the lines on the suit. I'll bring it closer so you can see. See how I lined it up with the lines on that, because this is like a pinstripe suit. All right. Then the next thing I'm going to do is come in with the buttons. And I need my mini glue dots for that. And I'm going to stick that one right there. And these may end up getting, like one or two of these may end up getting, well, I'm only putting 2 on, so hopefully they won't both get covered by the sentiment. But, so then the buttons go right there. And then this is going to be my Happy Father's Day, right? And that's gonna, yeah, see, I want that lower. So it is gonna cover one of the buttons because I want that below the pocket. And I'm gonna come in with my dimensionals. Let me just cut a few of these. You know me, I use every part of of my dimensionals, so don't ever let your, these side pieces go to waste. They work just as good as the middle pieces. You just have to, cut them a little bit. And I'm just going to do the outside corners of this. Alrighty. Then I'm going to bring this in, and it's going to go, again, I'm going to try to get it centered. I don't know if that'll work. That looks pretty good. All right, so that's what it looks like so far. I know, isn't this a fun card? And think about this. Think about this for those of us that have missionaries in our family. Wouldn't this be a fun missionary card? You could write what you wanted on the front, or even someone who got a new job. It's just so cute because it is, and this is the designer series paper, and all of that paper makes really cute shirts. Okay, so for the inside, what I did was I took this piece that I cut that out, and I'm going to bring in my cutter, and I'm going to cut this at 1/2 inch. All right, and then do the same thing on the other side. I try not to waste my designer series paper, so that's why I'm showing you this. Always think about the fact that, kind of like I did with this piece, that I cut the little pocket piece out of this, right? So just always keep in mind, you can keep using this. And then this needs to be at 4 1/4. And this one also at 4 1/4. Let me move my cutter. And then I'm just going to come in with my Stampin' Seal, and we're going to put a strip on the inside. This is the way that you can decorate the inside and use all of your scraps, because we all have scraps, right? We all have tons and tons of scraps. All right, and then I'm going to come in with the stamp set. And so on the front, I put Have a Happy Father's Day. And I kind of got it close to my, see how that bent up? I was afraid of that. I was getting in a little bit too close. I may have to trim that later. But you want to make sure that you get on this side of that bend right there. And then, so for the inside, we're going to use this other little saying. And we're going to bring him back in the mint macaron. All right. Let's pray this goes down straight. Oh, I think I got it straight. I always get so excited when I stamp straight. Yay. All right, so it's going to say, Have a Happy Father's Day, handsome. And it's a little suit. And then to one of the world's greatest dads. Isn't that fun? Guys, that wasn't that hard. And isn't it such a cute card? This is such an ingenious, the dies that cut all of this out. Now, I'm not going to show you how I made this next card because I've been trying to keep this down to 30 minutes. But I do want to bring in another card that I did. But see what I'm talking about, how that's folding up right there? Because I got it a little too close. So I'm going to go in and just trim that so that it stops doing that. And I probably trimmed a little too much off. But I'll fix it later. But I'm just going to make this, I'll just go in later and get this so that it's nice and straight up there. Actually, I'm doing it right now. There. That way it'll actually fold shut better. Okay, so I want to show you this other one because my husband wears suspenders all the time. Yes. Yes, Janine, I know you're over the moon when you stamp straight. So this next card, and I may do a video on this card at another time, but I just wanted to show you the possibilities. Sorry, this is driving me crazy that it's not shutting. So let me, there we go, burnish it. Okay, so my husband wears suspenders all the time. So I want to show you this card. Look at this. So this is just a shirt. And again, I just used the designer series paper and the Night of Navy. And this is actually the pocket. So it's actually this pocket die for the sleeves. And of course, the same thing for this. But then see how I used this really long piece right here. And I made the suspenders. And here's the little clasp and the buttons. Fun, huh? And then there's the inside of that one. So yeah, this is for anybody who has someone in their family that wears suspenders. So yeah, so there's a couple of the cards that I made with that die set, which was just really fun. And I used a piece here so that it looks like, I don't know if you guys can see, and it looks like the shirt is buttoned up. So yeah, so this one's like very formal, and this one is more like my husband. Alrighty, so let me just push these up kind of. Maybe I don't have you guys out all the way again. There we go. So we've got this, and so that is this set. And it's the handsomely, it's called the Well-Suited Suite is the suite. And of course, I showed you guys the paper. This is the paper that you can use. And think about, like, remember that tweed I showed you? You could make a suit out of that. You can make a suit out of this pattern. How fun is this going to be to make different suits? You could even do one out of this diagonal that would be really fun, right? And plus, I love that paper. Alrighty, so there you guys go. That is the handsomely suited, and this is the one we made tonight. Again, I just love the way it turned out, and I think it's so cool. It just, I mean, if someone gets this card, they're gonna think you worked so hard making this card, and it, in general, is pretty easy. All right. So one more time before I go, mini catalog open house is going to be January 9th, and I am going to try to have it at my house. I'm not going to feel bad if you don't come because you're afraid of the COVID stuff, but I do want people to set appointments because I really want just a few people at a time in my house to do the make and takes. That way I can clean everything between the time each person, the people are here and the next group comes. But we're going to have drawings for prizes. Bring a friend and you get to put your name in for a better chance for winning. If you place an order that day, you also will get your name put in the bucket to win. So it's going to be a really fun day. We are going to have my team member Brenda, who is on with me tonight, is going to be helping me with this. And so we're going to have, she's going to be making cards. I'm making cards. And we are going to have just a ton of cards made up so that you can see the potential of all of these sets, and we just do that to try to help you guys decide what it is you want out of this mini catalog, because it can be quite overwhelming when you start going through the catalog and you start looking and you're just not really sure, what you could possibly do. So that's where me and my team are going to come in and make some cards for you guys. And also, if you're like me, you kind of like to see the paper before you buy it. So I will have all of the paper here. Also, don't forget that during January and February, celebration is going on. You guys all should have gotten a celebration catalog along with your mini catalog. And if each time you spend $50 or more, you get something free out of that celebration catalog. So that is so, so exciting. Yes, Mel, I will eventually show the cards online so you can see them. I've posted 3 of them online, and I'm actually going to be posting 3 more that I did the other day. So I will be posting some online. But I'm just frantically making cards right now. So, but after the open house, I most definitely will post those, Mel. It's for those of you that can't come in person. Darn it, right? Yeah. So anyway, like I said, it's just, the open house is free. It's for you guys to come and see. And I hope that you guys will and bring a friend with you. But like I said, because of COVID, you need to make an appointment. It's going to start at 10 and you should allow about an hour, to be here. Because most of the stuff that we have you put together it's basically just gluing stuff together. So, oh, good. I'm glad you saw those, Mel. So yeah, so if you guys want to, just make sure that you go to my Julie Brown's Independent Stampin' Up, group. And that's where I'll be posting pictures as I go along. And a lot of the ones that I am making up for the open house, if we don't do them in a card class, I will have the instructions on my blog. So make sure you visit my blog, which is, here, let me pull that up for you guys. So my blog is right there at the bottom, stampandjuliebrown.blogspot.com. So, yeah, anything that I post, eventually I will get those added to my blog. So always check back to my blog. If you actually go to my blog and you put your email in there, every time I add a card, it will let you know when I've added a new card to my blog. So yeah, that'll work. Well, what am I doing now? It won't go away. So anyway, thank you guys for being here tonight. I hope you enjoyed that suite. I had a lot of time creating those 2 cards for that suite. And you guys didn't say, did you guys like the suspender card? I hope you did. Like I said, I have a husband, and think about this too. With this suspender card, instead of using the designer series paper, if you guys, we have a stamp, and I hope it's still available, but it's a checkered to plaid stamp. You could do that in like a red or a blue and make it look like it's the flannel shirt, right? Wouldn't that be so, so cute? So anyway, lots of possibilities with this set. Again, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I will be live again next Tuesday, but next week be watching for other lives because I may just be popping in because for the next 2 weeks I will be doing nothing but designing And I may just pop in and do a random live, so be watching. Anyway, good. I'm glad you love the suspender card. So everybody have a good night. I appreciate your time tonight and your time being with me, and start checking off your wish list. But hopefully we'll see most of you at the open house, and we will be talking to you soon. Bye.